Hello everyone, welcome to my platform and you can call me Peaches. I'll be your fashion tutor on this platform. On this platform we have a lot of things to do, as time goes on I'll be dropping some videos, but for now on today's episode, what am I dropping? I'm dropping how to make hip pad. A lot of soulmates have asked me to drop how I make my hip pad, this, that, and that, and finally I've come up with something to show us how to make our own if we want to make for ourselves and we want to make for customers. So I will show us demonstration on how to, like I said earlier. But before I proceed, I would like to introduce us to the tools we are going to use in order not to waste much of our time. Next tool that we will be needing is the foam itself. Let me talk about foam. That's the next tool that we'll be needing. This is the foam I use. This foam is this one is 1.5 inches. There are different types of foam in the market. There is one of 0.5, there is one of 1 inch, there is one of 2 inches, there is one of 1.5 inches. There are lots and lots of types of foam like that in the market. But whenever you want to choose, you can choose the range of 1 inch, you can choose the range of 1.5 inches. But don't go with something that is 0.5 inches, because by the time 0.5 inches compressed, it might left the person with nothing. So, in the cap, I need a paper, I need a needle and thread, I need lining, I need scissors, 2 scissors, one for cutting my foam and one for cutting my fabric. Then the foam to be used for it, and then the tight, which is going to serve as the short for our work. So this is the paper I'm using, and the measurements that will be needed, like I said, is 36, and the 36 has nothing to do with what we are going to cut. It's mainly the effect of the 36 is just to know the type of shorts to choose. So now this is what I just cut. Can you see? This is what I cut. So I just cut a paper, like a rectangular paper, then I fold it into 4. Like I fold it into 4, and that's just it. So the next thing to do now is to measure. Don't forget that it's a hip pad, and a hip pad simply means a pad that is going to add to your hip. It has nothing to do with your bum. It's just going to enlarge the hip, giving the person a coffee shape. Like the bum is going to remain the same, but the hip will be enlarged. So now the next thing to do is to take the measurements on this paper. So where the paper folds, like the joining here, as you can see, where there is no opening, I placed my tape rule at the edge. Then I took 4.5 inches measurement away, as you can see what I'm doing. Then down to where there is 2 openings, where there is 3 openings, to this side, as you can see, I see what I'm doing. Down to this side, from this edge that has no opening, then down to this side, I took 6 inches down. Why do I take 6 inches down? Why do I take 6 inches down and not more than that? It's because if you take something more than that, it's going to go deeper into the thigh of the person, and it might affect the shape or leveling with the thigh of the person. But if you want to add more to the thigh of the person, you can actually choose, you can go a bit deeper. You're just going to trim it in a way that it's not going to look kind of funny on the thigh of the person. But I personally, I always work with 6 inches for my customers, and it has been working so far. So 6 inches, that's that about that. Then the next thing to do now is to connect. Let me label this point A. Are you seeing what I'm doing? Then let me label this point B. Now the next thing to do is to join this side with this side. So you just take 0.5 inch from here, from point B, 0.5 inch. Then The reason why the shape has to this thing has to, I mean the line has to be okay is because the more you form your line, like the more inaccurate your line is, the more the inaccurate the foam will be on the person. So you have to just be careful whenever you're dealing with how to cut the foam out, because that's where the work really lies. So then you cut it out. So we have something like this. So you have something like this, as you can see. So you have something like this, and this is going to be our pad. This is going to be something what we are going to use to cut our pad. It will stay like this, and there is another one that will be here, and that is a pad. So this is what I have here, the hip pad that we are going to use for one side. We are going to cut two of this, one for this side and one for the other side. So this is what I have here, the hip pad. Can we all see? So this is what is going to be inside our shorts. Now to where the main work is, trimming it down. So now when we want to trim it down, you know, this side is this will be the middle, which will be at your side. Don't forget I said this hip pad is 1.5 inches. So if you fold it like this, it will make 1.5 on this side and 1.5 on this side. Folding it like this, it will add 1.5 for me here, 1.5 for me here, making the head of 3 inches. Then this other one, so we had 1.5 at the front, 1.5 at the back, making the head of 10 inches. So the altogether inches that is going to add is 6 inches. But because the tight is going to compress it, the tight is actually going to take its own. It's going to eat its own. So mostly when you're using 1.5 foam, you'll be left with 3 or about close to 4 inches. You know, if I put this on me, as you can see, this is not leveling with my body, and we don't want to do it like that. We want something that will level with your body so that it will not be obvious that you're wearing something. You want something that will be so perfect, that will look as if it's the creation of God on you. So as you can see, we need to trim this out so that by the time this thing is coming down, it will level with my body. Then this other side too, which is going to be at the back, it will level with our body. The only thing that we are not going to tamper is the middle one, because the middle one is where we want it to be so big, is where the enlargement is going to be. So now let's start the work and let's just trim. Can you see how I'm doing the trimming? Don't hip pad to cut off foam. We are not going to cut the exact amount, the exact size of this foam. We are going to cut something bigger, because by the time you are sewing this with your tight, you will need allowance. So you are going to cut excess allowance. Sew it like this with your hand sewing needle. There is no big deal in doing this. It's just you joining the foam with the lining, and that's just it. So it has been joined, as you can see. It has been joined. Always learn to use the color of the fabric, the thread. It's actually because I'm used to black, that's why I forgot to pick white. It's white I'm supposed to use, but let's just make do of that. So this is the tight we are using. This is going to be for front, while this will be for back. So the lining on will be where our pad is going to join. So this is the lining. You turn it inside, the inside will be on the inside, like the outside will be on the inside of the person, while this one will be the surface where we are going to sew on. So you find the midpoint of the tights. You find the midpoint of the tights, which is this place. Then to locate the midpoint of the tights, you will get that through the folding of the tights, like how the tights comes. You will see a line there, so you wouldn't have problem with it. Finding the midpoint too, if you don't place the tights, the pad accurately, it's going to affect the position of the tight. So this is gradually coming to the end, to the last part of it. So I've joined the foam with it at each side. This is one side and then this is another side. So now the next thing to do is to put this foam, this attached tight, inside this other one. You turn this to the right, then you attach this, you put this inside, you put it inside the other one, ensuring that the foam lies at the side of this tight. Don't forget I said you will know the side of the tights by the fold that comes with the tight. So you ensure that the side of the tight lies with the midpoint of the foam attached here, and then same thing to the other side. So now the next thing is to join our tights together. We join here at the band, and then we join here at the tip of the trouser. We join here too, and then we join here too. So when you are joining it together, ensure you use a zigzag stitch to join your tight together. Reason being that a zigzag stitch allows expansion more than a straight stitch. So if you use a straight stitch, your tight might have difficulty in expanding at the waist, but a zigzag stitch will allow that. So this is how to do a zigzag stitch for those of us that doesn't know how to do that. So you carefully place your tight together and then you sew all round using a zigzag stitch. So this is how to do it. This is how to zigzag stitch your shorts, in case for those of us that doesn't know what a zigzag stitch is, if you are very new to sewing. So this is it. So you zigzag this all the way around here, and then you come back to this side, placing the midpoints together, placing the midpoint together too. Then you zigzag round again, and then you do this to the other side. And when you have done that, then you are done with your hip shorts pad. The next picture, the next image on your screen will be an image of me wearing what I've done.